Hello, baby.
Hello, nasty. Hello there.
Hello.
I say hello.
Hello, friend.
Well, hello, little girl.
Hello, my treacherous friends.
Hello, operator.
The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Hello there.
What's going on, Jay?
Hey,
This would make the most awkward beginning ever. I am Jay. This is episode 238 of The Brink of Sanity. We have Mark.
How you doing?
And we have the Doc.
hello.
All right.
That's great, Doc. Doc. Tell me a comedian.
Mark.
Tell me a comedian you'd be happy to be excited to see.
Well, tell me. Wait, I
Tell me a
missed.
comedian.
cut
Tell
off
me a comedian that you'd be happy to see in concert, live.
in live. Off the top of my head, Brian Regan.
Okay. So if I told you, hey, Doc, do you want to go see Brian Regan this Friday? Where would you assume the show is?
I don't know, like a Comedy Cellar or somewhere downtown in the city, Manhattan. I guess.
Would you assume
Downtown.
Manhattan? If someone said to you like, "Hey, let's go see this comedian," and they didn't say where it was, you kind of assumed it would be in a convenient location.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of comedy clubs down there, so it's they're all kind of close together. So
You would assume that the person would mention and say, "Oh, the show's in Brooklyn."
Brooklyn. Who goes to Brooklyn? Oh wait.
I know you live in Brooklyn, but don't you think that's something that someone should add?
Yeah,
Like,
I would assume that I'm taking a trip into the city. Like,
yeah. Well, but most people assume the thing, whatever they're doing is in Manhattan, and if it's not in Manhattan, the other person should probably say, "Hey, do you want to go see XYZ with me in Brooklyn?" You agree? Do you agree, Jay?
Yeah, when you put it like that, it kind of makes sense.
So, Doc, Jay invited me to go see David Cross, a comedian we both really like.
okay.
From he was on the Arrested Development, Mr. Show. He's very
Yeah,
fun.
I know who he is. Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah.
Well, maybe not. Maybe some of our listeners don't know who it is. Okay, goddamn Doc. So he invited me to the show, and I said, "Sure, yeah, grab the tickets. I'll give you money. Sounds good." And then like I'm asking him the day before, or maybe even that day, I'm like, "Oh, so where's the show? Where should I meet you?" And he's like, "It's in Brooklyn." And I said, "Fuck."
Is it like downtown Brooklyn where the Nets play? Like in
It wasn't that far. Actually, it ended up being not that far. But
No, it was exactly where the Nets play.
It's exactly.
It was the Atlantic Avenue stop.
Yeah, it's not that hard to get to. I mean, it's not.
No, it really wasn't that
deal.
bad. It wasn't like he said like the game. If it was in Coney Island, I would have just said go tell me.
Yeah, that was.
Well, the only problem
where's the
was
show? It's North Dakota. I'm already actually on a plane. Are you not on the plane ride also?
well, the problem was it was supposed to be at this place called the BAM, and we didn't know there was like 3 different buildings called the BAM, and they were doing
What?
like construction on like the roofs of all of them, so they had like the awnings all around the sidewalk.
Mhm.
We got off the subway. The place itself. What are you doing?
Oh, that's my microphone breaking.
Yeah,
Okay.
what's going on? I thought it was me.
No, that was me this time. Go ahead.
Okay. Is your cat like having sex with your microphone?
No, that'll be later. She'll knock it off the desk, guaranteed.
Okay. So we get off the subway. The place itself is maybe 100 feet from the subway. We instead of walking in that direction, we have GPSs on our phone, both of us. Yet we do a walking tour around the neighborhood as we cannot find the place. We're complete morons.
Well, just to add to the stress, we got there at we got off the subway at about 7:54, and the show was at 8.
And you know what? This problem wouldn't have happened if Jay had said, "Hey, do you want to see David Cross in Brooklyn?" Because I would have replied, "No."
It must have been the Nets must have an aura there. Like everything must go wrong. Like as soon as you get off the subway, like your brainwaves just get scrambled because it's just this, it's just what the Nets do.
Yes, the New York basketball teams basically suck. But at least if it was in Madison Square Garden, I could have found Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, so and then then we went to see this show. David Cross was very funny. And then Jay told me thereafter that he was freaking out for the first half hour of the show. Jay?
Yeah, I kind of had a anxiety attack for about the first 20 minutes of the thing. It was fun. It's good. Good time.
Is it like was that like were you having anxiety about something specific or just a
I
general
don't know. I was
feeling?
kind of amped up all day
Yeah.
What were you amped up all day about?
about having an anxiety attack during the show.
I don't know. I thought we were both sitting there just laughing at the jokes. And then meanwhile, I didn't realize next to me is someone that's about to like, ooh, should I laugh at the joke or murder people around me? I didn't know that was going on next to me.
Having a absolutely. Well, if you notice, I didn't laugh for the first 20 minutes.
I didn't really know. I wasn't paying that much attention to it. Like it wasn't like a first date where I was trying to see if you were having a good time.
Right. Didn't even hold my hand. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, Jay didn't even pay for dinner. It was bullshit. Let's split this like we're not on a date.
Everyone's
Dude,
going
you want me
Dutch
to pull
lately.
it put
Mike.
out.
Everyone's going Dutch lately. Get with the times. Okay, that got creepy.
What goes through your mind during this? Like, what goes through your mind during this freak out? And how do you calm yourself down?
Well, you're thinking things like,
Jay, what's wrong with your microphone? Aren't you like the one person supposed to not have technical difficulties?
yeah,
I'm
what?
calling with my phone and you have like a
Yeah, no,
hundreds of
I
dollars
spent like $1,000 on equipment, so of course mine's the one messing up. It's okay now, right?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay.
Are
So,
you
yeah,
massaging your chin hair against the?
no, there's like one wire that is just a little wonky, and if it's anyway, it's working now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
No, so you're just like, as soon as you sit down, you're thinking about like all the things that could go wrong, like, you know, what if I get nauseous and I throw up, like, or what if
Why would that occur to you that you're going to throw up? Had you thrown up recently?
No, I haven't thrown up in like years. That's the thing. This is why I have anxiety. It makes no sense.
Like you also think, what if my arm falls off?
No, but I was thinking about what if I had diarrheas and had to poops.
This is what you. Well, if you had to throw up or do diarrhea, wouldn't you go to the bathroom? Like, wouldn't that be like?
But that was
I'll
the
go
problem.
To the bathroom. I bet they have one.
That was the problem. We were at a comedy show and we were like 6 seats in, so I would have had to disturb those 6 people and all the people behind them.
Wouldn't it be more disturbing if you didn't get up?
It would, but I was worried about like annoying all those people.
So how do you calm? Like this goes on for how long? 20 minutes?
Probably 30, yeah.
Do you not laugh at any of the jokes?
No, I smiled a few times, but I didn't start laughing.
Just to let Davis Cross know that you still thought he was kind of funny.
Yeah, I gave him like a reassuring nod.
In case he's looking at you from
Like, you know,
1,000 feet away. Or
I
how far.
acknowledge you're being funny, but I am trying not to barf poops.
He just like interrupts the show. He's like, "You, what the fuck? Why aren't you laughing?"
Yeah.
You up there in the stands, all the way back there. Are you gonna poop on yourself?
You clearly having a panic attack.
You, if you poop in this show, you know what's gonna happen. How do you calm yourself down?
You practice breathing. Like you breathe in through your mouth, hold it for 5 seconds, and then breathe out through your nose for like 10 seconds.
You've been breathing for 37 years, but you need practice.
It's slower, deeper breathing. Yes. So you do that, and then you just you try really hard to just focus on anything else. Which luckily we were at a comedy show, so I was able to focus on that.
What else goes through your? So basically, you have a panic attack. Your panic attack is about shitting and pooping, or shitting and throwing up. What anything else that you think you're scared is going to happen?
Possibly fainting.
You're in a seated position. How are you going to faint?
I just slump over.
So you're just like basically this is just like your mind is just assuming the worst case scenario for pretty much everything.
Yeah, that's what anxiety is. Yeah.
Until it stops doing it.
Right.
Doc, let me ask you. You're a medical professional. If I'm watching a comedy show, the show is going to be at least an hour and a half long. 15 minutes of the show, Jay just falls over. Do I have to wait? Can I wait till the show is over, or do I have to? Does he need immediate help?
I mean, it depends. You know, like obviously, if he's like still breathing and stuff, it's he'll probably wake up right away. But
do I have to check if he's breathing, or can I just assume?
You probably should if you're his friend or his date or whatever. I mean, if you don't give a shit about him, yeah, you could just let him be there.
What if he like just starts throwing up and pooping on himself?
Let
Can
you
I
just pretend
can I
you,
pretend
you,
I don't
you
know
just
him?
yeah, that's what that would be the natural reaction. I mean, that's what I would do.
Yeah. Is there any need to like help your friend out if they start pooping and throwing up on themselves?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a doctor question or just a basic social etiquette question.
I think that's more a social etiquette question.
That's what I think.
Okay. Okay. So it was a fun show. Jay did not poop on himself, and we survived Brooklyn.
Yes. Yeah. It was definitely fun. I haven't seen a comedian go on for an hour and a half straight. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, he was actually really good. Yeah.
That was like the perfect length. I think 5 more minutes, I would have been like, yeah, I wish he'd stop talking now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like comedy's like it's really comedian, no matter how good he is, can't go too long. Like after it's like an hour and a half, after an hour and a half, you're like, I just don't want to hear you talk anymore.
Yeah.
Kind of like us when listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
why
think-
we try and cut off the show after.
I think an hour and a half is like my attention span for like anything, like movies. And
I
you
get
ever
so
notice like
mad when I
a
go to the
movie
movies
starts
and
going
it's-
longer? You're just like, is this going to end?
Yeah, when movies are like over 2 hours, I get pissed. Like, why is this? Why didn't you just make a sequel?
Okay, so 3-hour movies, I can think of only one movie. I can think of one movie. Not even.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a really good movie, then it's like you could deal with it. But there's not that many good movies.
Like The Godfather's 3 hours. I could justify The Godfather being 3 hours, but most movies that are 3 hours are 2 hours plus filler.
Yeah, except The Watchmen.
And yeah, even 2 hours is pushing it for certain kinds of movies. Depends on the kind of movie.
I would say most. Yeah.
We're gonna let The Watchmen go because no one else on this planet thinks that's worth 3 hours.
Okay.
Doc, do you think The Watchmen are worth 3 hours?
No, I thought it was all right, but not 3 hours.
Yeah, I feel like you almost should just have a sequel also. 3 hours.
Yeah, just have 2 hour-and-a-half movies, just right in the middle. I don't care if it's mid-sentence. Just slam a to be continued on there. Put the other part out later.
Yeah.
At the same time, they should have just put The Lord of the Rings and made it a 7-hour movie. I think that would have been better for the fans.
Yeah, just get it all over.
Yeah, there's like 7 straight hours of movie. Like, yep, no intermissions, nothing. This is just the movie. If you're a really big fan, you'll be here for it.
Yeah, you just set aside that day. Like,
Isn't
it's
that what
Lord
the
of
super extended box set version was?
Do they still make all those extended DVD extras, or they've realized that no one on this planet cares about that?
Oh yeah, they absolutely do. They always get you because they'll come out with like I remember they did this with the first X-Men movie. It was like X-Men, and then it was like X-Men 1.5, and they added a bunch of shit. So they get everyone to buy the first version, and then they release the next version with more stuff. A lot of movies do that.
Well, the worst thing of all is also you'll get the DVD and you'll be like, "Oh, X-Men unrated edition. I wonder if this edition is going to have a lot of porn in it."
Do you think like I think we're kind of trending toward like streaming more than DVDs now, right? Like, do you think at some point people will like stop collecting DVDs or any hard copies of movies?
I think a lot of people are leaning toward that, but I don't like the whole idea of not owning anything.
Really, I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people have already stopped trying to own DVDs.
Yeah. No, I was by saying trending, I meant like a lot of people doing that pretty much.
Because like a lot of people I know, they don't get music anymore. They just do Spotify.
Yeah.
But Spotify is like hemorrhaging money. So
it's not going to last. Yeah.
say they go out of business, then
Then
you've just
they'll-
paid hundreds of dollars and you have no music.
Or you pay nothing to Pandora and Spotify, and then they go out of business, and then you buy music then.
But either way, you have no music.
I mean, it's a rental fee. I mean, $10 a month is not that much. I mean,
No,
after
but
a year,
like Pandora is free. You can pay $10 a month to like have one less commercial a month.
yeah.
They should make them more. They don't. They actually don't put
Yeah, but
enough.
that's
commercials.
the same thing. I mean, if Pandora goes under, you don't have anything.
Right. I mean, who gives a shit if you don't have anything?
Yeah, I know it's not that much. It's not that much money. Like 10, I mean, you would have only bought like 6 albums with that, which means that there's a
Jay, why do you need to physically possess music?
So I can listen to what I want when I want.
Maybe you should physically kidnap the artist.
Sometimes they're not as good live.
Jay's like Drake kind
especially when they're especially when they're kidnapped, they're not so good.
Or if they're, dead. Like, oh, he
You know, when
died. I
they
guess
have
I'll never listen to
They
that
have a
band
rope
again.
in their mouth, like they're not as good singing.
Yeah.
Kind of gets in the way.
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
Counting Crows sound better when you loosen the restraints.
Or it's like, oh, George Harrison died. I guess I'll never listen to the Beatles again.
But hang on, going back to DVD extras, have you guys ever looked at DVD extras and thought like, have you guys ever used them?
Once or twice I've watched deleted scenes, and then I went, oh, that's why it was deleted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the ones I've seen are basically like that. It's kind of like, oh, I guess I could have like lived my whole life without ever seeing this, and that would have been totally fine.
And I
Yeah,
don't-
it's rare that I'm really excited to see any of these scenes, and they're always like, it's usually a disappointment, so I just don't watch them anymore.
and I don't think I've ever watched a movie with the commentary over it.
I've never been like a person to buy like a lot of movies and music and stuff like that. Like I had some music, but I kind of like the idea of not having a lot of physical copies of things.
Yeah, most of the stuff if I buy, like
You never like listen to it or watch it again, or most of the time you don't.
Well, I mean, I digitized
don't.
most of my music, but I still own it. Like I have the files.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, I have a lot of MP3s, but that's like I don't have to physically, like if I move, I don't have to deal with like moving it somewhere.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you have to buy like a stack. I mean, I had 400 CDs in my apartment, and it got ridiculous. So
Yeah, I remember that.
I ripped it all and I sold it, but I still have that music.
Yeah. No, I think it's like, I mean, once you can like, you don't physically have to like lug it around. It's like, okay, it's an easier way of having music or whatever. Movies.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could technically do that with movies too. You can rip them and.
Do you guys order food through apps like Seamless Web or Grubhub?
Yeah, all the time.
Do they try and be your friend afterwards?
Who?
Like
Right.
I ordered from Grubhub, and then like the next day I got a text like, "Hey, how was your food?" And I'm like, "We're not fucking
that thing.
friends."
Yeah, that stuff's annoying.
How you doing? I got another one like 2 days later. Like, you haven't ordered food in a few days. Why don't you order something? I'm like, we're not
Well,
friends. Don't text. It was a text.
Yeah, it's not just Seamless. It's like an advertising thing. Like everything I do, like someone sends me a thing like a day later. Can you rate what you like what you bought or what you, what you, like Amazon or whatever.
I almost
Everyone
understand like asking you to rate it, but this was just like, hey Jay, what's up? Like, order some food, and I'm like, we're not friends, asshole. And it wasn't through the app. It was a text message they sent me.
Oh, it was like a person, like a.
No, it was like the app, but since I have the like, it texts me like when my food's on its way. But
Yeah,
apparently,
yeah.
also it texts you because it thinks you're BFFs now.
I actually so we're launching a new product. It's similar, but the guy who delivered it shows up the next day to hang out. Hey Jay, I know I dropped off Chinese for you yesterday. What are you watching on TV?
And the guy who delivered it, his name is Marc. Also.
That happened to me when I did that like weed delivery service, like in the movie Half Baked. The guy came over, and I bought weed, and then he sat down on the couch and he started watching.
Just like hung out. Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah, he was just like hanging out.
And we're just like, yeah, you're not like, we don't want to watch TV with you.
No.
And then he starts like making conversation. He was there for like an hour. I'm like, dude, like transaction over.
I think when you're with a drug dealer, you have to like hang out with him a little bit. He wants to feel cool about you.
Most of the guys were in and out. Like this guy, I think, was said, well, I don't have like a next stop yet, so I'm just going to sit here until I get my next message.
My experience has always been they're cool. They talk to you for like 5 minutes and they leave.
Yeah, no, this was like a hangout.
What if he just didn't leave? What would you do? Like he's not refusing to leave for like a day, but like he wants to stay till like 2 a.m. watching movies with you.
I mean, I guess I would have done what I did when my friends do that, go into the bathroom, come out like brushing my teeth and like stretching my arms like, oh, it's getting late.
Yeah.
Jay's like not
I think
wearing
I-
pants anymore.
Remember I did
think
that
I
to
know-
the professor?
I think I know. Yeah.
I was like, why are you still in my apartment? And he's like laughing. I'm like, I'm not joking. Get the fuck out. And he's just like laughing like I'm joking. I'm like, no, I'm in my pajamas. I'm brushing my teeth. Like, go away. Anyway,
Awkward.
yeah.
Yeah. So, have you guys gone to a Walmart recently?
No, I have not.
I think maybe like 6 months ago I was at one. It was weird.
I was we happened to go to one pretty recently, and the greeter, she was a paraplegic woman. It was a little nothing. I mean, a paraplegic should get to work. It was a little like I feel like I need a warning saying there's a paraplegic woman as the greeter. She
Well,
said,
Walmart pays their employees like sub minimum wage like wages. So I mean, they're not going to get the cream of the crop.
I also assume kind of if you were a paraplegic, our society decided you didn't have to work. Like they'll just give you money and you don't have to work anymore. I didn't know paraplegics had to get jobs like the rest of us.
Well, I mean, just because they can't use their legs, I mean, they can do. Maybe that's not the best job, but they're probably jobs that they could easily do.
The person was highly disabled. Said hi to me. I didn't know if she was like asking for help until I realized she was the greeter.
Okay. So there was
And
like it was more than just people.
She was highly disabled. I was like, oh, are you okay? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Thank you for welcoming me into this store. Can I give you money?
Yeah, maybe that's the point. Like that's to get money.
I always like to start my shopping experience off with guilt.
Yeah. I was like,
Well, they're like basically they're saying like Walmart is basically subsidized by the government because they pay their employees so little. Most of their employees are on like Medicaid and stuff anyway, so it's like
it's the same thing with most fast food workers. Anyone that basically
Yeah.
is an adult that makes
like any big chains and fast food and retail, I guess.
Are you in favor? Do you think Walmart's doing a good thing by hiring the paraplegic, or do you just makes you not want to ever go to a Walmart again?
A little both.
Yeah, I mean, if they're paying them like $4 an hour and they can say that they have a greeter, I guess they're kind of getting a bargain. I don't know.
The company I work for does that. All the mailroom people are disabled in some way.
They
Oh,
probably
really?
get like some benefits. Maybe there's some stuff like they get some compensation for hiring people.
Yeah, I imagine like it's like hiring the military. I bet you get like some kind of extra compensation from the
Yeah.
government.
There's probably a reason behind it. Like
Yeah, maybe maybe paraplegics know Walmart is the place to go for.
It's a silly, like just having somebody say hi to you when you walk in. It's kind of stupid.
somehow, I bet we're paying for that somehow. Like it's like that portion of money they take out of our salary. It's going toward that.
Yeah, like you know how they always say on your taxes you want to give $3 to the presidential election. What if it said you want to give $3 to make a paraplegic a greeter at Walmart? you're like I guess I'll give the $3. I do like I'm in favor of paraplegics, but this just sounds fucked up.
Yeah. And that's the thing with Walmart. Like most of the time, like if like we're going to Walmart, like we just want to get our stuff and get out of there. Like we don't need to be greeted, right? I mean, do we need to be greeted?
No,
I mean, shouldn't you get like if you're going to Walmart, shouldn't you get somebody to wear like a shame mask so people don't see you there?
Yeah.
Not,
Although
you're not,
most of the people there, like I don't care.
not that you're in shame, but like you don't go to Walmart and go, oh, I'm going to talk to everyone here.
Yeah. I want to have a conversation with the first person I see there.
I feel like you're going there going, I want to get the cheapest shit possible, but not feel bad about the workers here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they have some like the stuff they sell. Like, I mean, you can get stuff pretty cheaply. Like, that's why people go to Walmart. But it's like, you look around and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, you're like, wow, it's awful how they treat their workers. I can get 12 pounds of cashews for $7. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it's like a trade-off. We get cheap stuff, I guess, and we end up paying for it in taxes, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that works out. It's like yeah. I wasn't really commenting on the on Walmart itself being a good or bad company.
Yeah.
Paraplegics was thing, which is kind of weird.
I just
What's
think
going
the
on?
whole greeting thing is kind of weird.
They don't. Maybe
Yeah.
they don't have that enough. Like maybe there should be greeters. Like where else would be greeters would be helpful?
Well, you remember Blockbuster Video? You would get a free rental if they didn't say hello to you when you walked in. The
Oh
door.
yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
I guess then they just had to.
Yeah, I don't like need people saying hi to me.
They
I had
should-
to do that at one of my jobs.
They should have
Hey,
Sorry.
oh, sorry. Hey, Mark, do you live in a doorman building?
I live in a doorman house.
Oh, you're in a house now. Yeah. No, but when you were in the city,
Yeah, I lived in a doorman building.
did you like have conversations with your doorman like normally, or?
I always tried not to talk to them because I feel like
Yeah,
once you're friendly with them, then you have that conversation every
yeah.
time.
I mean, the doormen I have here are like nice, and I mean they're friendly. I just see all these people always like talking to them, like for a while, like they're like I'll go do something, I'll come back, and they're still like talking to them. I'm like, am I like doing something wrong by not, engaging them in conversation more?
No,
Like,
there are. I knew I had a roommate who liked to talk to them all the time, and there were a
yeah,
lot of people that like to talk to the doorman, and there's nothing. I mean, they're nice people, but it's
yeah,
but then you like. I kind of want to go in and out of the door. The
yeah.
door is not a place I want to hang out very long.
No, and like a lot of times I'm just like I'm like I'll wake up and like try to if I want to go get coffee or something. Like I'm not really completely awake. I don't want to converse with people yet.
So related, so the building I go to for work, where I work, there's like a front entrance and a back entrance, and there's a door person at the each door / security person in the front and the back. There's not a lot of security, but this new woman who's the security person / door person, whatever it is, in the back is like overly friendly. It's like she started pretty recently doing this. I feel like she was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And I'm walking by to the elevator. She's like, "How was your weekend?" It was good. It was good. How was yours? Oh, it was good. Another week, and I'm like, I'm getting on the elevator, okay?
Yeah, there's a point there where you're like, oh crap, is this a real conversation? Like, has this gone beyond the hello, how are you? And
And she has like a very friendly. She's like, "Hey, it's Monday. It's another Monday," and I'm like, "Oh, hi, how you doing? How was your week?" I'm getting on the elevator. I'll see you later. Doors
yeah,
closing not fast enough.
this was just supposed to be one back and forth exchange. Like anything more, this I was not prepared for.
She's been doing it for the last couple of weeks now, and I'm wondering if I should change my entrance.
Is she hitting on you?
I don't think so. There's nothing like it's nothing about me not making eye contact and walking as fast as possible by her that can make me think that she thinks we have a thing going.
You're not leading her on in any way. Are you sure?
Not leading her on anyway. I don't know. I don't know if someone like maybe like her boss said she has to be extra friendly, and now she's going. She's waiting till people complain about her being too friendly.
I feel like sometimes there's this pizza place I go to back in Long Island where I mean they always hire these like young girls and like they're always like they're basically told to like be very like say hello, say goodbye, stuff like that. But it's kind of it's like they're definitely being forced to do it.
Are they like?
I guess it's like.
Are they doing it like a flirtatious way or?
Well, no, it's like I mean, it's like it's just like it's like a pizza place. It's not really like, but it's I guess like they're just trying to encourage people to come in and it being like a friendly kind of place. But,
hi, have a good day. I ate fucking pizza. Leave me alone already.
Yeah, you're just like trying to take out a slice of pizza or something, but it's weird.
Hi, welcome to Adult Bookstore. Please don't say hi to me again. Jay, would you like it if he was a greeter by your desk at work?
Welcome to Jay's desk. Jay?
Hi, Jay. Welcome to work, Jay. How was your weekend, Jay?
God.
Jay's very quiet. Is he having a panic attack?
No, I'm fine.
What's wrong, Jay? Are you going to shit yourself?
No, everything's fine.
What's wrong, Jay?
The live stream was cutting out.
Something was wrong.
It's back.
And Jay pooped on himself.
Yeah, I'm sitting in a mound of diarrheas right now.
Okay, well, good for you. Admitting that you have a problem is the first step.
So that hello person is your neighbor?
Jay, you weren't paying attention to the story either.
No.
It was the doorman at work.
Oh. Wait.
No, I said to you, would it be nice if when you got to your desk each day, if like you had someone standing there being like, "Hey, Jay, welcome to work today."
No, I do have someone who pops in and says hi to like everybody, and it's like some days you're just not in the mood for that.
Jay, do you have a case of the Mondays?
Oh God, I hate office small talk so much. There's nothing to say to people. Like,
yeah.
when you're talking about like, you don't want to tell them what you did on the weekend.
I think we had the same conversation on last show, so we're not going to repeat this.
I did, but then I had 4 more of these instances at work this week.
Okay, why don't we just cut to the scene?
My chiropractor did that.
Hey, Jay. I'm your coworker Stan. How was your weekend?
Good.
Well, good. Okay. What did you do?
Really? Hung
Yeah,
out?
yeah. Do you want to be best friends?
This is what we do.
I'm getting married. Could you throw me a bachelor party?
Can you? Are you my best? You're my best man.
Can you hold my hand at work more often?
Yeah, I had that with. Oh yeah, so I went. You know how a couple episodes ago I said I went skiing.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I've been rehabbing my back for the last 3 weeks. Because I don't know if I told you my back went out like the next day.
Oh no, you didn't. You didn't tell me
Yeah. My back went out the next day. That's what I get for like trying to do anything. So
Welcome to trying to do anything in your 30s.
yeah, exactly. Hey, skiing will be fun. Oh, a month of rehab, awesome.
Yeah, that was worth
Doc,
it.
would you recommend people in our condition being above 30 should not do anything physical?
Yeah, we should just never do anything at all. Just sit. Sitting is approved. Everything
Okay.
else.
Okay, so
No,
the less
I mean, I
physical
think-
activity, the better.
No, I mean, I think we can do. It's just that most of us like don't do a lot of stuff. So when we try to do things that we don't normally do, we're always like, "Fuck, I didn't expect that."
It's amazing. Like I'm trying to lose weight, and every time I do anything athletic, I get like injured and have to sit out for like 2 weeks. It's absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, they gave me this this take home unit. It's called the TENS unit, and it's these little pads that you put on your back, and it gives you like electric shocks, and it's supposed to like stimulate the muscles and make it heal
Yeah.
faster.
Yeah.
Does it work? I've heard of that, definitely.
Well, here's the thing. They it has a battery, and you there's a switch with a few dials and a wire, and you plug in the wire, and then you plug in these pads, and then there's a knob that you switch the intensity for it. So every time I'm done, I take the battery out, I take the wires out, and I put everything back in its place. So I did that last time, and then I went to hook it back up, and what I did not realize is that I did not turn the knobs off. I took the battery out and I took the wires out. I left the knobs on. So I when I went to use it again, I put the battery back in, and I'm putting the pad on the wire, and the knobs are turned up. So as soon as I plug the pad in, it starts electrocuting my hand.
What? No, not good.
No, it wasn't. And when you're getting electrocuted, you kind of like have trouble moving. So I'm sitting there like stuck, frozen to this thing that's electrocuting my fingers.
Wait, how long was? Isn't it like a quick thing? Like how? Oh, because it's on. I guess.
it's on. It doesn't stop electrocuting you.
Why don't you
Because
just,
didn't you like
why-
pull back?
Yeah.
Well, at first, when you start getting electrocuted, your body seizes up a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you have reflexes?
Not when you have you ever been electrocuted? Your body freezes.
Yeah, I mean, it can mess with your nervous system. Definitely.
You ever holding a match and the match starts burning you and then you hold the match anyway?
You've obviously never had an electrical problem.
I've never had to like take an electrical shock thing on therapy. I've never had to administer electrical shock therapy
so
myself.
you know,
All right,
our
Mark.
nervous system is electrical. So if you get electrocuted, it can mess it up. I
Let's do a
guess.
test. Mark, put your pinky in the electrical socket right now and tell me if you're able to take it right out. You could also use your pinky toe.
So how long were you in that
Doc,
position?
Doc, is there any medical evidence that this actually helps? Giving yourself like little shock waves?
I think it's supposed to like relax the muscles and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely can do what it's supposed to as long as you use it correctly and don't electrocute yourself.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which
they
I
use
clearly
different kinds of they have electrical stimulators for people who have like really bad chronic pain conditions. Like they'll put like a device actually inside them that like constantly sends electrical impulses. Basically, our sensory, like our nerves and stuff, if you give them electric impulses, they forget about the pain because it gets in the way, basically. So,
Okay.
but I think the one Jay has is more like to relax the muscles and stuff.
Correct.
Jay, when you were using it, do you ever start humming "It's Electric"? Boogie woogie woogie woogie.
No, I did not even think about doing that.
Okay, just checking.
So Jay, how long like were you kind of paralyzed? Like like was it seconds or?
Yeah, it was only a couple seconds, and then at first I didn't even realize what the hell was like electrocuting me.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the knob was on. Yeah, it was only a few seconds, but it felt like a lot longer.
Yeah, it probably felt a lot worse than this.
Yeah,
Is your back better?
it's not 100%, but it's much better than it was a couple weeks ago.
Are you ready to injure it again skiing?
Yeah, when are we going skiing?
No, but I started using the elliptical again because
Yeah, a lot of times you get injured because you're like you haven't been doing a lot, and then you just try to do like something super physically exhausting.
yeah.
Doc, I have a question for you. I have a medical question for you.
Okay.
I was listening to a commercial for a new product. I don't know if it's new, how new it is, but it was the tagline was, "Do you think you're fat? You may just be bloated." Does that sound like a product that should be legal?
Well, what was the product?
It's called Nubiotic.
That was just like an insult.
It was like, "Do you think you're fat? You may just be bloated." I mean,
Yeah, that's not a product. That's an insult.
And people were like, "Oh, I thought I was fat. Turns out I just had gas."
Was it a pill or something?
It's a pill. It's called Nubiotic. I found it online.
I know what that is. I think I've heard of that. There's a couple. I mean, depends. You got to I mean, there are some stuff. Some concepts that are like some kinds of pills do some stuff, but some of them there's no evidence behind whether it works or not.
Do you think it's practical that someone's gone through their life thinking they were actually fat and found out they were thin, just bloated?
Yeah, I mean, that's not the best. I don't, that doesn't make me want to buy that product because that's kind of like, I don't even know what that means.
Do you think if you had a patient and you were like, "I'm trying to determine if you're fat or just bloated," they would they would think you're a good doctor?
I mean, I guess they're saying like sometimes people hold on to water, but usually they have like medical conditions that make them do that.
Yeah. No,
that sounds like a weird way to advertise them.
it was maybe the funniest commercial I've ever heard. It was one of those things you hear and you're like, "I wish someone else was here with me."
The thing with advertising is basically you just have to give people a quick fix because that's what people want. Like people want something that'll like cure all their problems in one pill, which I mean, there's no such thing. But that's like the stuff you should stay away from because.
What if I needed to? What if I needed to say like fix most things in my life? Is there a pill I could take?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like that's what most advertising goes toward. Like they try to like people they'll just promise all these things and really I mean there's certain pills that could potentially help you, but you're still gonna have to do all the stuff.
What if I don't want to do all this stuff?
Yeah, I mean then you can just spend money and buy something.
What if I want to lose weight and gain muscle and get smarter? Do you have any kind of snake oil you'd sell me?
Yeah.
I came across my favorite clickbait of all time. You know what clickbait is?
Yeah. Do you, Doc?
Yes.
So for those who don't know, it's some kind of headline where they make you click through it, and they think you click on it, and then there's you have to click through all 20 things, and it's just the
I think this day and age, I mean, even pretty much everyone that's listening probably has been subjected to this. It's like everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. So the headline was 21 stunning stars that you did not know were single. Which made me think someone's going to click on that and go, 21 stars that I didn't know were single. Like as if you're going to click through and go, here are people I have a shot with.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like Kate Hudson. Ooh, Kate Hudson's single. Maybe I'll call her this weekend. Kendall Jenner. Ooh, Kendall's gone. Maybe I'll call you, Kendall. We'll see.
I don't know if she's on there's 21. You got to see the other people first.
Right. We don't want to just
keep
jump
scrolling
right into that. Yeah.
We got Orlando Bloom. Maybe I'll go the other way for you, Orlando.
Yeah. I'll have to come out of the closet first, but okay.
Ooh, Kourtney Kardashian, another Kardashian. Ooh, I could be on that show.
Are you clicking through all these right now?
Yeah, I am clicking through them right now.
You're giving them money.
It just sounds like the most ridiculous click. Like someone's, 21 stars that you could nail in your head.
You know, like most of the time, like I won't click on those things, but every now and then there'll be like one. They'll be like, "Shit, I need to like I want to see." Actually,
If it's
I
a
don't know.
slideshow, I
It
still
kind of
won't
always
do it.
gets you.
I won't do the slideshows. There's always one hero in the comment section that'll list it out for you.
Hero.
I'll scroll down 200 comments just to find that guy.
I'm the guy that goes on these clickbait websites and does the list for you, so you don't have to.
Exactly.
A true American.
Do you ever see those things like you have to find something in the picture, like and they'll post it on Facebook or whatever, like then they won't even show the whole picture to find the thing, and then like it's just like one of those things you shouldn't be doing it, but it's like once you start looking for it, you're like, why can't I find this stupid thing?
Everything about the web is about driving you crazy.
Yeah, it really is. I just need to stop like looking at things like that.
Yeah, there's so many things you just go down the rabbit hole. There's this website Jay and I are obsessed with called crack.com. You ever look at crack.com?
Yeah.
So they just have like list after list of like they have all these interesting lists on there. So you look at one, and then on the side panel they have another interesting list and another interesting list, and like 2 hours later you lose your job.
Yeah, Doc, your patients, half your patients are dead. You've been clicking this thing 2 hours.
Come on, it's not a matter of life and oh wait, I'm a doctor.
Crap.
Jay,
Doc.
get me a new book. It's by one of the writers on this crack website. Jay, what's the book called?
Everything is going to kill everybody.
So it's like this humorous look at all these real things that could kill you at any time. And they're legitimately things that, like, there's this mega tsunami that's kind of not that far away from actually happening that'll wipe out the eastern seaboard.
Yeah, there's been a lot of articles about global warming too. Like, you know, all the polar ice caps are melting, and
I read these, but the thing is, the global warming ones are always like, "Wow, the world will be fucking in 100 years," and people, and I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm not going to be here in 100 years."
Yeah.
So, but this is like, oh, the Yellowstone National Park might open up into a giant volcano that'll destroy the planet, and they give like the reasons behind it, and you're like, "Oh, thanks, Jay. I'm glad you."
Yeah.
I don't know why you have anxiety, Jay. You read this kind of book.
I think Jay has his anxiety is about more immediate concerns. It sounds like it's like
Jay, do you have anxiety while reading this book?
No, there's too many funny lines. You're like laughing through the whole thing.
It is a funny book. It's good. It's good. It's a really fast read. It's really funny, but like
Yeah, it is a little disturbing though because they're all like legitimate things that can happen.
and they have things that where like there's one thing about like them trying to capture the sun's energy from space and shoot it down at the Earth. So basically shooting lasers from space. And I'm like, wait a second, someone's working on this?
Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot reading the book.
Do you ever read the science articles? Oh, the sun's gonna like explode and implode at some point, but it's gonna be like 4 billion years from now. So
Yeah,
those I don't
it's
really
like, oh,
worry
okay.
much about.
I got a little time.
There was an article today about the polar caps melting, and they say New York will not, like, New York's been around 400 years, and there's no way New York will survive another 400 years. And I was like, 400. That's a good lifespan.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, has New York New York hasn't even been like a city for 400 years, right?
Yeah, it probably hasn't been a city, but it's been around for that long. And I also say it's been around for 400 years, as if when the Indians were here when we weren't, it didn't count.
Well, I mean, the area was here, but it wasn't a city.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that could kill you, how deadly is black mold?
I think that's pretty bad for you.
Black mold.
Why?
What, actually,
It's
what
in my
that is.
bathroom, and my landlord keeps saying he's gonna like fix the bathroom, and he's not, and I think I'm dying.
Maybe that's why you're having panic.
It's not helping. It's not helping.
Have you looked up black mold? Because I feel like I've looked this up.
No, I try not to look up anything that might be really bad on the internet because it's always everything leads to cancer when you look up stuff on the internet.
I mean, mold in general could just be like it can like stir up allergies and things like that.
I have been having constant allergies.
You have?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Well,
so it is
That could be
killing
the-
me. It's good to know.
black mold can cause an array of allergic reactions and health.
That's what I said.
Yeah. I'm
It's like I'm a real. It's like I'm a real health professional.
Yeah, but I have to verify what you're saying.
Yeah, I know. Using the internet.
The internet's never been wrong.
I think I'll be giving him a call tomorrow.
It says here toxic black mold can cause health problems.
You may just have the safe. You may just have the safe kind.
Maybe you have the good kind that gives you like superpowers.
I have like the good kind that only gets you a little sick instead of actually killing you.
Or maybe you're becoming a superhero. Is there anything you can do
Well,
that you weren't able to do?
You know, if it was really poisonous, the landlord would fix it because he wants your rent. So it must just be
That's
the
true. That is a
slightly
good.
annoying kind.
So, Jay, have you noticed any like X-Men like powers recently?
I have the ability to not throw up poops at comedy shows.
That's quite impressive.
That is good. I mean, there were a lot of people around us that didn't have that ability.
Yeah, that's about it so far.
Hey, what did you guys think of? Just on a different note, we had talked about previously on the show that whole Apple FBI case thing.
Oh yeah, they ended up dropping it because I guess they found another way in. So
Doesn't it seem like Apple should just help the FBI and not say anything about it? Because now the FBI just advertised to the world that Apple's phones aren't secure.
no, so I mean it's a little more complicated. So the issue was that they were forcing them to create software that would basically, like. I don't think Apple obviously if the government can figure out a way into the phone, like, I mean, that's kind of what they're supposed to be doing, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the most powerful government on the planet could crack it. That doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, cool, now I could get in.
That's true, but I mean, I felt like Apple's whole big thing was like the United States government can't even get into our phones, and then the U.S. government's like, no, we got in. It's totally cool. Your phones are completely unsecure. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, if you force the company that actually made the software to crack, I mean, basically that you're saying that no software could come, like, every software that any company makes has to be insecure in some way, because eventually the government's going to come and ask you to break into it. So the incentive for actually creating safe software, like, government officials use iPhones, right? So if you're making this encryption not good, we're also just as vulnerable.
Right, but now my point was whether the government should be able to force Apple to do it. But if
Right.
Apple had just helped the government, everyone else wouldn't know that Apple's stuff is unsecure. Now we know that there's a way to do it. Now we know there's a way to do it, actually.
Yeah, I mean, the problem was they were trying to force them. I mean, Apple tried. I think Apple tried to help them by just using the normal methods of getting in, but it turned out that they would have to rewrite the whole software to like.
No, I understand that. I feel like it's just like it's a really bad PR disaster because, like, A, you wouldn't fight terrorism, and B, now your phones are also.
I think it makes the government look bad because it's like, I don't know. They were using some weird like law from like 1700s to say that Apple had to do something.
Don't we use weird laws from the 1700s all the time when we call it the Constitution?
Yeah. Well,
everyone was like, "Oh, they used some weird law from the 1700s." I'm like, "Isn't an entire basis of our country from the 1700s? Can we just?"
yeah, but they didn't even like. The problem is you can't apply those rules to computers because it's like a whole new thing. Because let's say Apple made that software and then somehow it leaked. Basically, everyone who has an iPhone, could get their information taken, and basically they spend all this money trying to come up with a secure way, and it ends up being kind of worthless.
But now Apple doesn't know how to fix their phone, and there is a way, and it could leak, and everyone's phone now.
Yeah, this stuff like with the they're always coming out with new software, and there's always new hackers. It's like a continuous battle. It's always going to be the case.
There was a thing. Apparently, a lot of companies will, if you're a hacker and you break into their software, they'll give you money.
I think Apple does it too. Yeah, Apple, Google, they all do it.
Apple doesn't do it.
Apple doesn't do it, but like Google does it, and some other companies do it.
Well, they said basically Apple usually isn't one. I guess Apple is one that like Apple doesn't find out how. Like everyone else, the company, whoever does it will just tell the company, and the company will fix it. Like Google will just fix it because they'll pay money. Apple, they'll sell the Apple stuff underground.
Yeah. Normally, like I'm not an Apple person at all. I'm always like. Apple, I don't like the fact that Apple is trying to sue everybody because other companies made phones that there's only like really one way to make a phone. This is like, oh, your phone is square and rectangle just like our phone. Clearly, like you copied us. It's like
You put
okay.
the internet on your phone. That was our idea. Give us money, Samsung.
But in this case, I agreed, and I mean all the internet all like the Google, everyone was on one side because it wasn't just that one case. The problem was what it opened up was like a big if you give the government could just do that, it's like basically everything that we think is secure is not really secure.
I know. I guess my point was that you're right, but then at the end of the day, we found out it wasn't secure.
Yeah, but they didn't like Apple wasn't forced to do it themselves.
Right. It's just that there's the holes there. Doesn't really matter.
I don't think anyone objects to. I mean, because the government has to try to. If they're terrorists, everyone was on one side with trying to get into the phone. It was just the fact that you were asking the company that made the software to do it.
No, I think Apple wanted the terrorist attack in Belgium to happen.
Yeah, probably. They were in on it now.
Anyway, did you see Superman versus Batman?
I heard it was bad.
Jay, are you going to see that?
No, I don't care.
I thought we could talk about ways to make Batman Superman better.
Did you see it, Mark?
Of course not. It's got terrible reviews.
Yeah, I heard it was.
This is the movie I was dying for. if I was a 12-year-old boy, I'd be dying to see this. But like the reviews are horrible. They said the best part of the movie is Wonder Woman, and if the movie's called Superman versus Batman, the best part of the movie better not be Wonder Woman.
Yeah, no.
So I was trying to think of some ways to make the movie better. How would you make the movie better, Jay?
I don't think Jay's into Superman or Batman. So
Jay, are you even here, Jay?
I am. But Superman really just sucks. I mean, I would replace Superman.
You would replace each character with an X-Men character.
Yeah.
I would replace them with the Avengers and do an Avengers movie. That's how I'd make Superman.
Yeah, I'd replace Superman with the Avengers, and I'd replace Batman with the X-Men. And then you got a movie.
It would be Superman versus Batman, and then little writing below it, we say X-Men versus the Avengers.
Yeah, but in reality.
Actually.
Superman versus Batman, and then note, Superman and Batman are not in this film. So I would have done Superman versus Batman, Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, God.
Wouldn't that be a wonderful if they're fighting in Midway, they start making out? Wouldn't you that would be I think that would be an awesome movie.
Superman versus Batman versus Predator.
That would be good. What if they had a fight, but they were fighting over something that was so ridiculous that was driving you crazy?
Like they're both reaching for the last muffin during breakfast.
Maybe they should call it How Superman Got His Groove Back.
Yeah, or it's like what's that movie where the fact that Kevin James gets trained by like a smooth black guy to like pick up a woman.
Oh yeah,
Will Smith.
That would be. Oh no, that would be a good movie. Like Superman's having woman problems, and like Will Smith comes and like
shows him Clark Kent's a fucking dork.
The Will Smith movie was Hitch, right?
Hitch.
Yeah.
Like Clark Kent's a fucking dork, so Batman like teaches him how to be cool.
What if Superman and Batman fight like to the death, but it's over like their favorite Kardashian?
It's just a poker game.
No, they throw each other through buildings. People are dying all around them, and like Superman screaming, "Chloe's better! What the hell's wrong with you?"
On an unrelated note, I saw this Facebook thing that made me laugh. There was a picture of Obama with a shirt that every bro owns. Did you see that?
No.
It was like that standard what do you call it? Plaid shirt that like every like a lot of guys have the same shirt, and then in all the like below it they had all pictures of just people hanging out with like more 3 or 4 guys with like the same shirt. Kind of funny.
Oh, so like Obama was wearing a shirt, then there's pictures of other people wearing that shirt.
I don't know, it just made me laugh. It's just weird because like Obama kind of wears like stuff normal people wear. He's like it's not like most presidents, they're just always in like suits and stuff.
Yeah.
What if the president wore a cape? They dressed like a superhero.
That would be amazing.
A nylon like suit, like a nylon skin tight suit with a cape, and they had like a big P on their chest
with underwear on the outside.
Yes, I-
Hey,
yes.
Actually, Trump's gonna actually do that though.
Oh, if he did, I would take back every bad thing I said about him.
And what if also we had to use special effects like wires, and made it look like he can fly, and we had to pretend the president had the ability to fly. We just become the giant, like the biggest asshole country possible. We're like, our leader can fly, and everyone like in Brazil's like, you're using strings. No, we're not. We're gonna bomb you, Brazil.
Yeah, every
I feel
State
like
of the
it would turn
Union,
into
he
like what the Hunger Games is like. It's like some show.
every State of the Union, he just like flies in a cape. That would be the greatest thing.
What if would you vote for Ted Cruz if he promised to serve as Batman? Like he's just gonna wear Batman the entire 4 years.
You know what? That would probably change my vote. Yes.
Yeah. Or Robin. He should just be Robin.
The whole time, Mr. Putin, could you please call me Batman?
Maybe it'd be like Trump is Batman and he's Robin.
The VP has to wear the Robin shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the vice president.
Oh my God, that would be the
Christie,
greatest
if you
thing.
want to be VP, you better lose the weight. This we cannot make a Robin suit that big.
That was like
Whoever's,
the weirdest thing. Like they were like constantly insulting each other for months, and then like a day later, he's like behind him, like looking weird, like while Trump is giving a speech.
The
Like,
whole cabinet should just be the Justice League.
So basically, depending, like your vote is going to be based on like your preference of Marvel versus
Yeah, that's
what
the two
X-Men,
platforms.
what X-Men would this candidate most represent?
It'd be Avengers versus Justice League.
Hillary's like, I am Wolverine. You're like, Hillary, you're just being lame again.
Yeah.
I feel like Bernie would make a good Magneto.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he would.
I think he'd make a good Incredible Hulk. I feel like you get some bodybuilder throughout his whole term. Anytime he gets angry, like he ducks, and some bodybuilder in green comes out and goes, "I am Bernie angry now." Healthcare for all. I will crush you.
Why can't we run politics?
Yeah, that would make
Politics, yeah. It like the beginning part of the Trump thing was kind of funny. Now it's just getting scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also find
It's still a little funny, but
a lot of people now are obsessed with telling me how dangerous Trump is.
well, he's kind of unpredictable. I mean, he just says whatever.
Yeah, but he can't do all the crazy shit he says.
No, he can't. But I mean, the thing is, I mean, if we have some real crisis and he's like the guy making the decisions, it is a little scary.
Yeah, no, that is scary. But people are like, he's going to put American citizens in concentration camps. It's like, no, he's not.
Yeah, that's the thing people are obsessed with. It's not that he's going to be a bad president, which he would be. It's that he's going to be Hitler.
Like, why would he do that?
Like, I didn't know
Yeah.
like Hitler 2.0 gets a show on TV where he fires people, then he gets concentration camps.
I think the thing that worries people, he's got these tendencies that are like, kind of what like authoritative like people in the past have kind of had these same tendencies. He just kind of says like he's never wrong. Like basically, if anyone says anything about him, it's somebody else's fault. Like,
Right, but isn't like that been the Republican Party for years?
yeah, I guess it's like any politician. I don't know. He's
definitely an authoritative way, but about him. But like, isn't like the? I feel like that's what they've been running.
I mean,
on
yeah,
all
he's
these
probably
same
not going to be able to
policies.
do all the stuff. I think if he had unlimited power, it would be a scary thing.
Right, but wouldn't it be scary if any president had unlimited power?
I don't know. I mean, if Obama had unlimited power, I mean, what would happen? I don't know.
You never know.
We found out what "yes, we can" actually means.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already.
I mean, maybe some more stuff would happen, but I don't know.
he is droning the shit out of like dozens of countries.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they've been doing that stuff for like 10, 20 years. That's like every president. I mean, that's not just the
Drones?
president. That's
Doc,
like the whole government.
they've been droning people for 20 years.
They haven't had drones.
I feel like this technology was in like they started using this on the battlefield in like 2006.
Yeah.
All right, but I mean, Bush was president then. I mean, they were doing
Yeah,
other stuff.
Yeah, Bush did like 40 and Obama did about 5,000.
Yeah, Obama that's his video game is going on this battlefield. Like, hey guys, let me try to kill some,
I just feel like if it was another president, it would have still been happening. I mean,
It
it's
is
not
still,
just.
I don't think you realize how much Obama's droning people. Like it's happening right now. Somebody's getting droned right now.
Speaking of drones,
Yeah, but like,
Amazon-
I mean, if
hang on.
McCain was president or Romney, you think it wouldn't have been happening?
Yeah, if the Joker was president, also would be bad for us. But
No, I'm just
it's
saying,
actually
like,
Obama. It's actually happening.
yeah, but I mean, the Defense Department, I mean, the army and stuff, like they, Obama gives them authority, but I mean, it probably would have been even more with other presidents, or it would have been the same probably.
Do you guys want to do some questions?
Your big drone defenses that well, some other guy probably would have done it also.
Well, I mean, you were saying that Obama is. I mean, it's the government that's doing it. It's not just one person.
Do you hang on? Just speaking of drones, so Amazon wants to get government approval to deliver our packages with drones. Does that scare the shit out of you?
Well, those are different kinds of drones.
I understand they're not drones that would shoot you. I understand it's not like, Mr. Kaplan, are you in? Not in. Shoot laser at door.
Yeah, have you seen the drones that would deliver stuff? They're like,
You realize the second they do that, hillbillies with shotguns are going to just start shooting.
oh,
the drones out of the sky.
people already have done that. Like, people have shot like their neighbors' drones down.
I just don't want to see drones ever because Amazon delivers hundreds of thousands of packages every day. It'd be bizarre if you like walked around and they were just like swarming around you were Amazon drones like dropping off
They
packages.
already deliver stuff like way too fast. Like, I ordered something, I think like 3 days ago, and it showed up like the next day. I'm like, I didn't really need it to come that fast, but okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty
You're like-
crazy.
You like order toothpaste and like you go to your bathroom and there's an Amazon delivery man just like,
Yeah, it's like, okay.
he's like, hey Jay, you haven't ordered food in a while. Do you want to get on that? I had a couple of. Let's do the questions in a second. I had a couple of other ideas for how to make Batman Superman better.
Okay.
I wanted Batman Superman to end with a 8 Mile style rap battle. And then I also wanted I think the movie should start off with Batman Superman fighting. Superman kills Batman within the first 12 seconds because that's how reality would happen. And then the rest of the movie is a manhunt for Superman.
Somebody did a short like that. They stand in front of each other, and then Superman just blasts them with his laser eyes, and that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how it would happen. The other one I had an idea was to make Batman Superman a battle over immigration, where Batman's called like saying, "This is a goddamn illegal alien. Let's get him out of this country."
Batman's like, I will build a wall.
And Superman was played by Antonio Banderas, just to make it racist. By the way, Jay, the state of Georgia, there was a parent was freaked out about giving yoga lessons at school.
Fucking Christ.
Actually, the person who complained was a believer in Christ. It was a Christian parent.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
Apparently, teaching yoga at school is the same thing as introducing the devil at school.
Everything is like oversexed and like inappropriate. Fuck yourself.
Do we have questions?
We have questions. Scott writes, favorite breakfast? I would go with sausage, egg, and cheese on a roll.
I would say the same thing except bacon instead of sausage.
I usually have a cereal for breakfast.
My favorite cereal is fruit and yogurt Special K.
I've been having what do I have? I have Life cereal. I'm big into Life cereal recently.
Goddamn boring.
I've actually been mixing Life cereal with generic Stop and Shop brand grape nut cereal.
Holy shit.
Holy
I like
shit,
this this Goleen Crest thing. I don't know. It's pretty good.
My mother-in-law pointed out one day. She's like, "Oh, you get whatever cereal. There's a granola cereal. There's a lot of sugar in that." And I was like, "Really?" And
There's sugar. There's a lot of sugar in there.
There's a lot of sugar. And then I started looking at like
there's insane amounts of sugar in pretty much everything.
Every
way
cereal.
more than we should be eating.
So now I set like a limit of how much sugar can be in a cereal, and I can't buy half the cereal anymore because I'm like, anytime I start eating it, I'm like, if I'm gonna eat granola cereal, I might as well just have a cheeseburger for breakfast, and that would taste better. That's the same amount of sugar.
I was shocked at how many calories. My last job, they gave out free cereal, and one of them was granola. So I'm like, all right, I'll have the granola one because that's probably less calories. And I was like gaining weight, and then I looked, and I'm like, holy shit, I have like a 700 calorie granola cereal breakfast.
Yeah. What's happened is we're so used to sugar being in everything that like we don't even notice it. And if there's not sugar in it, we're not used to tasting like we'll be like this tastes awful because we're used to all that sugar.
So then I looked
You
it
have to,
up
like-
and I was like, I could save 300 calories a day by having a sausage, egg, and cheese on a roll.
Yeah,
Yeah, Raisin Bran has more sugar than a Kit Kat.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, I don't know if
that's why I don't like eat cereal in the morning because it's like I feel like just basically having sugar. Every now and then I will, but you know.
But you have time. Do you make yourself eggs in the morning?
I usually grab it, or I mean, when I'm off, I make myself eggs. But when I'm working, I don't do it every morning. Some mornings I just don't eat breakfast, which is bad. But guess-
Yeah. I never like. I do cereal because it's fast.
yeah,
I've
And
been
so I just try to
switching
take
to
a lower sugar calorie sugar.
the 1 minute plain oatmeal, and then I just throw like a handful of raisins in there.
Oh, see, I used to do for a while. I was doing oatmeal every morning, but my oatmeal would consist of I'd make the regular oatmeal, very healthy oatmeal. I throw 300 raisins in there, cut up a banana, throw some frozen blueberries in there, and then put some spray butter
that's
on top.
pretty.
Of it.
I mean, that's pretty. I mean, that's not an unhealthy. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't.
fruit has sugar in it, but it's not in the concentrated forms that like are in like certain cereals and stuff. So
Right.
Are raisins bad for you?
No.
no, I mean you're probably having too many, but like 300 is too much. But like as long as it's in a reasonable quantity, I mean.
I wasn't
You know-
exaggerating either.
Fruit has sugar in it, but it's like there's no way. Like if you tried to eat the same amount of sugar in fruit form than you did in like other forms, it's like you couldn't eat that much fruit. So, like you're definitely gonna end up eating less sugar if you have fruit.
I make pancakes sometimes, but that's for the kids. Usually for the kids, we make pancakes, and the kids are interested in making the pancakes for the first 5 minutes. Then they walk away, and then I'm making the pancakes for the next hour.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Michael writes, sorry, went over the brink years ago. Thank you, Michael. Shane writes, where's Bri? Bri is doing the show next week. John writes, is there any television drama better than House of Cards right now?
Did you guys watch House of Cards?
Never seen it.
I saw like the first season, and maybe not even finished the first season.
No. I the first season I thought was good. I loved the second season. The third season was pretty mediocre, and the most recent season was great.
There's other shows that are really good. I like The Americans is a really good show.
Are the Americans? Is that a really good show? I was thinking about watching that.
It's a really good show. Like
'Cause they have-
unbelievably good show.
They have that on Amazon. How long does it take? Like, are you hooked right away, or does it take a while to get into it?
It's pretty fast. It's like even just the premise of it. Like you'll be like, wow, this is interesting. Like it does. I mean, the best part of it like takes a little time to build up, but it's captivating pretty quickly, I think.
What's the best season of it?
I think the second season was my favorite, but they're all I forget. I think there are 3 seasons in. I don't know. I think each one got better. So, but the first
Okay.
one was still good. Really good.
Okay, maybe I'll check that out. Jay, what new show are you watching that you recommend?
I don't think I'm watching a new show. I just recorded 60 Days where they take 7 normal people and put them in the jail to see like what it's like in there and what needs to be improved and stuff. So they're all in there undercover.
I've never even heard of this.
Yeah, it just started. It's on A&E. It's like I think there's only 3 episodes right now.
What happened so far?
Well, I didn't watch it yet, but my friend told me that like one guy came in all cocky and they warned him that he needs to get his backstory straight, or they'll think he's a cop. And he went in cocky and like had holes in his story, and they thought he was a cop. So he already got beat up, and he had to like act out to get put into solitary confinement because they were gonna like kill him.
Who would go to prison undercover?
These guys.
I mean, this seems like a terrible idea.
Yeah, and some of them are just like one of them's a teacher. Like they're like, normal people, so they're not gonna know what to do in there.
So they're going to the moral of the story: going to jail is bad.
But they saw a movie about prison, so they know what to do.
Right. I watched Oz. I'm cool.
Yeah, I saw Orange is the New Black, so
Yeah.
I know. I'll make friends with a lesbian and have sex with her. That's what will solve my problem.
I'll
the
just
biggest,
have my-
strongest lesbian.
If things get bad, I'll just have my mom bake me a cake with a big file in it.
I'll just run out of the wall, and there'll be a shape in the wall of like that'll look like me, like on the Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
I'll just dig a hole under the jail.
I want to actually watch this. There's a show that Jay watches that he told me to watch back a while ago, and I haven't watched, but it's supposed to be pretty good. Is the 100?
Yes.
Oh
I'm kind
yeah, I saw like the first few episodes. I guess I wasn't taking. I didn't love it, but I didn't really watch too many episodes.
It
Of
gets a lot better.
It gets really good reviews and stuff, but it's like streaming nowhere, so I can't watch it now.
Yeah, it's weird. Like you miss an episode, that's it.
Yeah, how am I going to catch up on the
It's
show?
on like the WB or whatever that channel is now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's keep it moving. Steven writes, "Why the Doc quit World of Warcraft?"
Doc.
Why the Doc quit World? That was like 10 years ago.
He
How
started
long
listening
ago?
from episode 1 again, so he's probably like just getting up to that.
It was boring. I mean, Jay found it boring much quicker than I did, but eventually I got bored of it too.
If you were a serial, these are all Steven's questions. If you were a serial
Could you
killer,
say Steven each time?
Steven writes, "If you were a serial killer, what would your modus operandi be?"
See, the thing is, I'm not a serial killer, so it's kind of hard.
Well, you would probably use medical techniques as you're a doctor.
I guess the only like serial killer I can relate to is Dexter, so I guess I would probably be someone like him. Pick the bad guys.
My modus operandi would be I would murder podcast hosts. Not you, Jay, just other podcast hosts. I think
Well, now his
it'd be good
anxiety
for our
attack is
show.
going to be. Now his anxiety attacks are going to be double because he's going to be worried about you killing him.
I'd kill people that make me go to Brooklyn.
I mean, if you murdered other comedy podcast hosts after like 3 or 4 million, we might actually move up the rankings.
So yeah, it's worth it.
People would just be like, "Oh, my favorite hosts are all dead. I just won't listen to the podcast anymore."
Steven writes, hashtag let's all team Mark's wife. Steven writes, hashtag Mark's wife needs to be teamed. Steven writes, Mark's wife teamed for the first time. Steven writes, is Mark into cuckolding?
Yes, Steven, but only by Canadians that are super fans for our show.
Steven writes, why are the X-Men so gay? I'm not even going to
Jay,
dignify that.
why are they so gay?
Not even going to dignify that.
No,
with
why,
an
Jay? Jay, just it's nothing wrong with them being gay. Just tell us.
North Star's
Yeah,
the only gay X-Men.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
North Star's the only gay X-Men, and guess where he's from? Canada. There you go. Steven writes, anyone else think death by rabies is the perfect suicide?
What? Why would that be the perfect suicide? Isn't that supposed to be a horrible death?
Yeah, it seems like really long and drawn out.
Wouldn't the perfect suicide be like sleeping pills or something where you don't really feel that much?
I think it would be jumping off the Empire State Building because it might be fun on the way down.
Right. Your anxiety would let you jump off the Empire State Building.
Why my anxiety wouldn't let me kill myself either. This is all fictitious scenarios.
Doc, if you had to kill yourself, what method would you use?
Yeah, the jumping off the building is simple, but it's complicated for everybody else because then they got to like clean you off and stuff.
What about just swallowing
I
a
guess-
hand grenade?
um,
I mean, you don't want to do those things where you're like, oh, I cut my wrist and it hurt a lot, and then I spent like hours in
Yeah.
the hospital and I lived. You
I
want to
wanna
make sure you're
because
done.
I'm sort of like I would probably not want to be like plastered all over a wall or something, so I'd probably just take some pills or something. I feel like the hand grenade would be messy.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have to clean it.
That's true.
It's-
That's true. You would never have to clean your own death.
You would, you would do it in the house of somebody who annoyed you.
Okay.
Like that hello person at work. You're like, well, fuck you now. My guts are all over your living room. Have fun cleaning that up for the next 6 months.
Oh, yeah, Jay, you don't want to say hi to me? Okay, I'm going to murder myself on top of your desk. I'll show you. At work, they're like, Jay, can you come into our office, please? Jay, we've noticed there have been a lot of people killing themselves on your desk. Can you please explain what's going on
This is
here?
the third time this week. What are you doing to them?
Jay, no, we're serious. It's about your job. Like, you cannot have. We're having too many people kill themselves on your desk. Why do people kill themselves on? What are you doing, Jay?
Stephen goes on a rant.
Jay, you're
You've
supposed to answer
exceeded
the question. You're in
quota.
my office.
You've exceeded your quota for suicides.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't like these hello people. Sometimes I go in, I want to eat my sausage, egg, and cheese on a roll.
Wait, you walk by someone who says hello and you don't say hello to them?
I mean, I
Of
downgraded it.
course they kill themselves.
I was still giving them like a nod.
I bet it was a curt nod.
Oh, well, it was, yeah.
Yeah. That's why they kill themselves, Jay.
I'm very curt before breakfast time.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen next time? Someone's going to light themselves on fire at your desk. How are you going to feel then, Jay? That's how the Arab Spring started, Jay.
All right, well,
One of my-
write
one of
myself
my
a
Want an
note.
friends
Arab
just posted
Spring
it.
at work?
I'll just write myself a note
One of my
to bring in
friends-
some marshmallows.
One of my friends just got free tickets for the Superman Batman movie for test driving a Jeep, and he's the only one in the theater. So
Really?
he like took a picture of himself.
I figured once everyone, like, it was going to have a big opening week, and then once everyone saw it and said it sucked, it would go way
it was-
down the second
He's
week.
like the only person in there.
I mean,
Steven goes on a
Crazy.
big rant saying Rosero quit because I censor questions.
okay.
Steven writes, why is Jay exclusively into white rappers?
You are kind of into white rappers, Jay.
I am. They just, I don't know, they're better at it. Steven writes, what class did the doc...
Doc, do you think white people or black people are better at rapping?
Um,
And
I don't
remember,
really listen to-
remember your answer will be phrased in the form of a racist person.
yeah.
Remember that the Beastie Boys
I
are
don't know.
white.
I don't really know. I'm not like a big rap expert, to be honest. So I would my opinions are not meaningful on the subject.
Jay, what does Steven write?
Steven writes, what class did the doc main in World of Warcraft?
What class did I main?
He did not care what I mean.
Does he still play?
I don't think he plays at all.
Then it doesn't really matter, does it?
Didn't you main?
I don't
like,
really, honestly, I don't remember. I think I had like three or four different characters. So I think they were kind of even.
Steven writes, does Lara show any skin in Tomb Raider, or are we playing the strong female lead again? No skin. Are collectibles difficult to find in Tomb Raider? Yes. Steven writes, people who keep talking about the new Batman flick, why would you come out as gay in public like that? Isn't that something you privately tell your friends and family?
We felt like coming out.
Specific question.
We felt like talking about it coming out gay on the show would mean no one would find out. Jay, you said your dad is a Donald Trump supporter, right?
Yeah.
Is he going to come on the next show to tell us about it?
I think he's
That would
starting to not like.
that would be
He's starting to not
Awesome.
like Trump.
What?
Well, Trump said
So-
today that women who get abortions should be punished severely. And I think my dad was kind of like, oh, he's kind of a shithead.
Yeah, he realized now, like that's the last straw.
My
But if you're-
dad was like, I wish he didn't say that. I'm like, would you rather him like hide his true colors? Now you know his true colors. He's like, yeah, fair point.
Did you see what happened with that reporter that like one of the people from his campaign kind of like pushed?
He's just like saying
Like-
she got bruised and all this shit.
Yeah, well, that was like, I mean, she got hurt a little bit, and she wasn't going to make a big deal about it. But the bigger problem was like they were like, oh no, it didn't happen, and then they were like, they basically tried to like assassinate her character to like, I don't know, it was like a whole overreaction. Like all they had to be was like, oh, sorry, they were just trying to like protect Trump or whatever. That would have been fine.
Right.
But they like, they basically were like, this person sucks, and like, like that's like their reaction to everything. Like
Yeah.
anyone who like, gets in their way, they're just like totally try to destroy. That's the scary part.
Yeah, it's a little shady.
Yeah, you wonder what he has to do to not be the leading contender for the Republican Party.
Jeez, I know it's those are like there are a bunch of interesting people there. Like I don't know, but it's not just that they're picking Trump because he's like the least awful one. Like the supporters like really into him. That's the scary part.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really are. So, why was your dad into him?
Basically because he hates all the establishment people, which I don't blame him because he usually leans left, but I mean he knows Hillary's.
Yeah,
fake
I mean
as shit.
I'm not crazy about Hillary, and I mean I like Bernie, but I mean I don't know. He doesn't really seem to have a good shot this time, at least.
I don't know. He's won just as many states as Hillary now.
Yeah.
I heard
Unfortunately, like he's gonna have to do a lot like better to like overcome
he has to win like 60% of the vote or something.
Well, he won the last 4 states by 70. So
Yeah, I heard.
It's gonna be close.
I heard Hillary's new her new theme song is the "You Can't Always Get What You Want" by the Rolling Stones.
Steven writes, if you could be any horror movie villain, who would it be? I'd be Jigsaw or Michael Myers. Jigsaw's a good one. Get to make like elaborate traps and stuff.
You know how long it must take to make those traps? I bet it's like an arduous like task.
Yeah, to set up an entire like warehouse and stuff.
You'd be like 2 days into the project and be like, fuck it, I'm not gonna kill people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I totally would not follow through on that at all.
I would say either Freddy Krueger or Pinhead from Hellraiser.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think I like that one. Yeah, that one. He was really good.
Let's see. I have that entire warehouse I have to put together with all those traps and.
That seems like a lot of work. Yeah.
But
I don't know.
Game of Thrones, I'm not even caught up on Game of Thrones. I will make that whole death thing later. Game of Thrones, I got to catch up on.
Yeah.
What bad guy would I do? What bad guy would you be, Doc?
I can't off the top of my head. I don't know. I haven't seen too many. I mean, I would probably just say
Slimer.
maybe I guess Freddy Krueger or something. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't like a huge horror movie person.
Shredder.
I haven't seen too many of them.
Shredder. Okay, I'll be Shredder.
The 4-year-old writes, have you guys heard of the artist Chief Keef?
No. Is he big among 4-year-olds?
I have not heard of Chief Keef. Andrew writes, can someone explain why Eminem's music is so popular? I can't stand it.
I kind of like Eminem's music. He's a white rapper I like.
I don't understand him at all. I think he's absolutely terrible.
I think he's pretty good.
I think he has talent. I mean, that was like 10, 15 years ago. I don't know. Is he still making music?
Yeah.
He probably is, yeah.
And
I think he's pretty
I mean,
good.
he was all right.
Yuck. Andrew writes, here's some homework for each of you for next episode. Design an original superhero all by yourself.
That's a lot of work.
My superhero is Presidential Man. Your turn.
Design, like we have to like design all the gadgets and stuff.
Well, he doesn't have to have gadgets.
You could just tell us about it. You don't have to literally make the costume.
I made a prototype. Took me all week.
I know. I'm gonna work on it. I gotta work on it. He said for next week.
Yeah. Andrew writes, has any had any ants lately, Mark?
How about your welcome guy who he uses the power of saying you're welcome to remind people they're assholes. Yes, actually the ants are back.
How about greeter man? Person who says hello to you even though you don't want to talk to him.
How about a superhero who has a magic bag full of paraplegics? He drops it here's your paraplegic to greet people. Here's your paraplegic to greet people.
He just carpet bombs places.
He will not rest until every convenience store / big box store has a paraplegic to say hi to you.
He could shoot paraplegics out of his fingertips.
You get a paraplegic. You get a paraplegic.
How about Panic Man, the guy who has panic attacks in the most non-anxiety provoking situations?
I'm at a comedy show. I'm gonna shit myself.
But my superpower is to do it so that nobody else knows I'm doing it.
Oh yeah, it's like he's like secret Panic Man.
Yeah, I'm subtle panic attack man.
You have your stealth panic mode going on.
Honey, when we were having sex last night, I thought I was gonna shit myself and was really worried.
But nobody knew because I was in stealth mode.
I was in stealth shit
That's
mode.
my superpower.
The ants are back, not really with a vengeance, but there are some ants now in my bathroom, and I can't seem to get rid of them.
Well, it's better than black mold.
It is better than black mold. They're very small, and they're not that big of a deal.
Andrew writes, what is your favorite superhero that isn't part of the DC or Marvel franchises?
Paraplegic man.
Yeah, we just made up 3 perfectly acceptable superheroes. So
Yeah, paraplegic man's going to go to. He's going to stop. He's going to go fly to the Middle East, and he's going to shoot paraplegics at ISIS, and then ISIS has to take care of them, and they're like, "Oh, God damn it, we can't make the caliphate because we have to take care of these paraplegics."
Well, I liked the movie, but I hated the comic for Hellboy, so I don't know if I should pick Hellboy.
Hi, Jay. Welcome to the caliphate. Caliphate. The greeter at the caliphate when ISIS.
well, we're gonna have a wall in Mexico, so all the Mexicans are gonna end up going to the Middle East instead.
Well, actually, the Mexican wall greeter. That would be a good.
That's true. Hi, welcome to the really tall wall that they paid for.
Hi, welcome to the U.S. Can you tell us your American sounding name? Can you show us a passport or show us your white skin if you want to get in?
Andrew writes, does Jay still have MySpace? I do still have MySpace.
I actually I went to see if I still had a MySpace page, and it still exists.
Yeah, everything's still it's kept all my emails and stuff too.
At some point, I decided to just delete my Friendster and my MySpace account.
That's probably a good idea.
I got rid of Friendster. Yeah, I'm still on MySpace.
What would you do? Do you actually go on MySpace and do anything on there, or just?
Every time I get mad at Facebook, I go on there, but there's nothing to do because nobody else is logged in 5 years.
Yeah, I mean it's there's no you can't really go back to it. It's it's just kind of you can see what your page was.
Wouldn't that be weird if I just started messaging you guys through MySpace?
Is it really a message if no one knows that you did it?
Hey guys, want to do a podcast tomorrow?
What an epic failure MySpace was. Everyone was on there and everyone just kind of left.
Well, they kind of got overrun with bots and they had a lot of weird stuff.
They had a lot of spam and letting people overly customize their
profile
pictures.
I hate those pages that were that flash at you in weird colors and.
Yeah, this one girl I was friends with had 6 videos that would start playing if you went on her page, and it would just crash your computer.
Yeah, it was the customization thing was what really did it in.
Yeah, I think once people's profiles became unbearable, they started looking elsewhere.
Yeah, and that happened really fast. Things became unbearable really fast on that site.
And I MySpace better too.
Friendster, why did Friendster do so poorly?
Well, there was nothing to do on Friendster. It was
Friendster was just bare bones.
I mean, it was just people. Was there did anything actually happen on Friendster?
No, there wasn't a wall or anything. So you added somebody and that's it. Then you could look at your list and that was pretty much it.
Do you think if I got the the Social Network movie?
Yeah.
If I got that movie, the DVD extras, is the deleted scene where someone goes to Mark Zuckerberg's character and goes, "Hey, isn't this just like Friendster?" Why do they just leave that out? They pretend Friendster and MySpace don't exist in that movie.
It was it was basically a carbon copy of MySpace. They just removed the customizing your profile page.
Yeah, it was the same thing as I don't know why they don't mention it at any point in the movie that hey, you just copied this other website.
I mean, in the tech industry, everything is always just a iteration of the slightly better thing before it. That's kind of the way it happens. They should have just said that that's what they were doing.
Right, but if you had a movie about the invention of the DVD,
it's not he created from scratch.
Yeah, they wouldn't pretend that cassettes didn't exist. A VHS cassette.
Yeah,
didn't
no,
exist.
they should not. Yeah.
I liked MySpace because you could piss off your friends by taking them out of your top 8. People would take that shit so seriously.
Yeah.
I'd be want to go to the bar tonight? And they'd be like, nope. I'm like, oh, you're out of my top 8. God damn it.
The weird thing about Facebook is, how many times they've changed the way your homepage looks? I mean, if you think about all the ways they used to have it so differently, every few months they would change it. It just totally disorients.
And every time
now
they
just
change
have
it,
random
I like
things.
it less.
What?
Every time they change it, I like it less.
Yeah. I mean, now it's every profile, there's nothing special about each profile. They all kind of look the same.
I love the one thing I do like about Facebook now is that when I go in my news feed, it takes a couple hours to find a posting from a friend. It's
Right.
always just
Oh,
like it's just like
Yeah,
advertisement,
it's like totally out
like
of order, yeah.
some posting from CNN. Like I'm like I didn't even know I liked CNN. Great.
No, it's just anything you want to see, you don't see. Like it's like they just put stuff that they think they want you to see.
Andrew
Yeah.
writes, have you had any cool drinking adventures lately?
I had a beer yesterday, and I'm having one now. Does that count?
I went.
Yeah, I would say I have not had any cool drinking adventures recently. I was I was away in Florida going to a couple spring training games, and also there was a bachelor party that I went to for a little while down there also. And there was beer pong going on, and I realized that I am not so good at beer pong anymore.
I went to Barcade last Friday. That was fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have a lot of good games there. One guy was trying to beat the world record in Galaga. People were filming it.
I wanted to accidentally knock into him and see if he would actually like start a fist fight. I got there and Jay's like, "What game do you want to play?" I'm like, none.
I don't know how you weren't even tempted.
Wait, you
to
guys
play.
were in Brooklyn? I live like you could have called me.
No. One, we went to the Chelsea one,
Oh,
and two, I thought you were working.
yeah. I was just kind of joking.
You got to let us know when you're not working,
Yeah, I know. You don't know my schedule.
because it
Just
seems
kidding.
like it's every other week, but then it's not.
No, yeah. Sometimes it's 2 weeks.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so we didn't really have any cool video game adventures. I mean,
Yeah.
drinking adventures.
No.
So is the one in Chelsea? I didn't even realize there was another one.
Chelsea
So is that one that's kind of the same
There's
thing?
a St. Mark's, there's a Chelsea, and there's a like Jersey City.
It seems like a cool bar, but
The Chelsea one's the best one.
You know they have a Brooklyn Bowl in like Las Vegas or something. It's weird.
Yeah, that is a little weird. It's like a franchise for a bowling alley. Ours has
And
bowling
it's like
balls
it's
and-
called Brooklyn Bowl, and there's no other ones until like there's just one in Las Vegas. And
Same with
then
Shake
there's a-
Shack. They're not outside New York unless you go all the way to Vegas.
actually Shake Shack,
So
I think is in Dubai now.
Yeah.
So if you're in Dubai anytime soon, you'll see a Shake Shack.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Almost done with the questions. Steven writes, what video games has the doc played lately?
I've been playing. I still play the. There's a Diablo type game called Path of Exile. I've been kind of playing on and off. And then I guess like League of Legends I play. That's basically it.
Cool.
And then every time I'm over Jay's house, I play some video games.
Steven
On the,
writes, why is the doc such a messy roommate?
Doc,
By that, am I a messy roommate?
according to Stephen, you are.
Yeah, Steven feels very strongly about you being a messy roommate.
I guess that must have been from Jay. I guess from whenever the whole.
Did
I
we
guess Jay would have to answer that. I guess since that's where he got it from.
I don't remember. I thought you were one of my cleaner roommates.
Yeah, I thought I was. I mean,
Although-
obviously, I worked a lot of long hours, so I wasn't definitely. There was things that got out of hand every now and then, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, if you
usually.
had a couple like 28-hour shifts, yes, the place did get a little messy when you had a couple of your ridiculous shifts. But I could kind of see.
Yeah,
that.
I was a little. I like behind in the kitchen stuff. I definitely agree to that, but I did work a lot of long hours too. So
At least you did not leave a 4-foot pile of dirty socks and underwear in your closet.
oh yeah, I mean, you're actually like. I visited you in Boston. I mean, the people you live with there were like animals. I mean, it was ridiculous.
It was
I
absolute
wouldn't even like.
nonsense.
I couldn't touch anything.
It was the worst. It was the worst. Yeah, I lived with absolute animals in Boston. Stephen writes, Doom beta starts tonight. Looking forward to all the crybabies who bitch about not being able to run the game on their potato computers. Oh, are you a PC elitist gamer? Ugh. Has Jay considered buying the Division? No. Gilliam writes, why do you think Latinos and generally non-white Democrats are voting for Clinton instead of Sanders? That's a good question because Sanders actually fought for minority rights while Clinton pretended to.
Yeah, it's weird. Like Hillary does so well with that group. I don't,
Sanders literally got arrested in protests for equal rights.
I still love like the Hillary thing where she's like, "Where were you when I was making the healthcare law?" And then they have like a picture of him right behind her
While
That's
she's
hilarious.
thanking him. She's actually thanking him in that video too.
Gosh.
Let's see. 2 more. Steven writes, is the doc qualified to switch up a person's meds? I'm on a max dose of Effexor, but I'm getting more and more depressed. I probably need to switch antidepressants. Wearing off seems like a real whore, though. You feel like your brain is being shocked every 10 seconds. It's rough.
So, Doc, and a related question: do you think it's appropriate to give up to treat a patient through podcast?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, it's totally fine. It's completely valid.
Okay.
No, yeah. So, I mean, I do prescribe meds like that, but usually when it comes to the point where like people are changing, I mean, you really need to, talk with a doctor who prescribes those meds a lot more often than I do. So even if I
talk with a doctor that's not on a podcast,
yeah, not on a podcast, even despite the fact that like, probably shouldn't be doing that over a podcast, I probably couldn't answer your question for you anyway.
And last question from Steven. Has the doc ever delivered a baby with Harlequin type ichthyosis?
I'm not the type of doc that delivers babies. The last time I did anything like that, I was a medical student. It was like more than 10 years ago. And
All right.
I wasn't the doctor.
That is the questions.
okay.
I think that's the show.
All right. Yeah, it's late. Huh? Wow.
It's
This
late.
was a long show.
I got to go to work. I'm
Work,
cranked.
Marc.
I got to go take a shower filled with black mold.
Yeah. Enjoy your black mold.
Yes.
If you eat the black mold, it's good for you.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Jay, can you say hello to the black mold for me?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
All right.
You should come on more often.
Yes.
You gotta tell us when you're around though.
Yeah, I'll there's probably a way I could just tell you like what weeks I'm around and not.
Yeah.
Like, say, text us the week you're off.
Cool, I'll do that.
Okay.
Or
cool.
if you have a schedule, just like email.
Yeah,
it to
I
me
could
or
send.
something.
I do have a schedule. I have it on a Google Calendar. I'll just send it to you.
Actually, there's a messaging feature on MySpace. If you want, just let us know.
Yeah, I'll let you know on my MySpace. I think that's the best plan. Yeah.
It's like every week, Jay, I message you on MySpace, and you have not let me. If you want me, I'll message you through Friendster too.
Jay, are we not MySpace friends anymore? Because you've been ignoring me lately.
I'm gonna print up your schedule and put it on my refrigerator.
Jay, every week I call your beeper.
I actually still have a beeper.
Oh, you're the one who keeps texting boobs to me? Where were all these jokes during the show?
You know what's funny? I have a beeper for work, and the year doesn't go up to 2016. Like it ends in 2015 because they didn't think people would still be using them anymore.
That's what even the programmers thought it would be obsolete. by
Which
then.
is there? I mean, they're right. We're like the only profession that still like thinks beepers are still a thing.
Yeah, that is a little weird. You should have like walkie-talkies. Those are more fun.
I mean, I would use a cell phone, but the signals are so bad in the hospital. So, like, we kind of have to use the stupid pagers. But yeah, definitely shouldn't be using them.
Yeah.
You guys should just have like a cup with a string on it, a really long string on it.
All right. So thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for all the questions. And we'll be back next week. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, bye, love.